Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my opinion. The third day of the second test match has come to a close with India leading by 244 at stumps. I couldn't put out a review video for day two. I said India should get to 430 as a minimum. They got to 587. And at the time of the sixth wicket falling, the score was on 430, which is why I said if you're comparing what they offer with the ball. Now, I said Washington Sundar has got the class to score 60 odd in that situation. He scored 42. But if India had scored slightly less than what they got to, you've got Kuldeep Yadav as an offensive and defensive bowler. And if India had played Arshdeep Singh, would England have got a 300-run partnership under their belt? They wouldn't have done it, Mike. From 84 for 5, I wasn't surprised they got that kind of a partnership because we've seen the defensive tactics of India over a long while now. And it's where 84 for 5 is a pressure situation, but were Harry Brook and Jamie Smith under pressure? I don't think so because of the negative tactics, and they probably expected as well, considering what happened in the previous match. And Harry Brook over 234 deliveries. I thought the role clarity between both of those two was very good because over 234 deliveries, would you expect him to score a strike rate of under 70, especially in this kind of a service? I don't think so. He saw the situation that the team were in. He played second fiddle. Jamie Smith attacked. Both played outstanding knocks and got England to. Still, they are well behind the match, and I don't think they can assail that gap. But both of them have brought some respectability, you'd think. And the defensive fields are once again on show. I thought, especially when they got to the 200 mark, you saw the deep point fielders starting to guard. Even when the new ball was taken, the deep point was there. Luckily for India, Harry Brook started to suffer from cramps in the mid 150s mark, and then I thought he was bowled because of a lack of concentration brought about from those cramps, because it didn't look like India would pick up a wicket. If that partnership continued, they could have got much closer to the first innings score. And this is why, looking at this attack, I'd said this in my preview on day one review when they selected the team. If Mohammad Siraj does not pick wickets, then it doesn't look like anyone else is going to. Akashdeep, I said he should play. He was a bit expensive, but he picked up 4 wickets. Mohammad Siraj, very good 6 wickets for him. Prasidh Krishna, I said with the lengths he bowls, he would not do much, and especially in the 6th over, I didn't understand. He was at times bowling short balls outside the leg stump to Jamie Smith. I couldn't believe. Yes, he bowls that length a lot, but if you keep going for runs, you're bowling the same delivery consecutively. I don't know what to say. And Shardul Thakur played in the previous match. He didn't bowl many. Nitish Kumar Reddy has bowled less overs than him. And one thing I thought that India should have done was the 162 for 5 mark. Jadeja only bowls 3 overs. Now, you've seen, despite 84 for 5, the seamers are going for runs with picking wickets. What I would have done is bring Jadeja on earlier when they're trying to counter-attack and then put a seamer at the other end. So you've got an offensive option and a defensive option, so the momentum wouldn't have been created. The moment that initial momentum was created, I knew we were going to see this kind of a mammoth partnership. So what happened next didn't surprise me. And if you're looking at the spin bowling combination, now Jadeja turns the ball more than Washington does, and you saw on days 4, so from tomorrow and on day 5, you see more punches of the spinners, despite it sometimes the ball held up today. And Washington was not effective today. Jadeja, he was economical at the start, and then in the spell before England were bowled out, he got some quiet overs in. But he also, in the middle phase after the initial point, he went for runs. So they didn't select an offensive outlet, the 2 offensive outlets in Arshdeep and Kuldeep, and that's they have seen what we've seen. And I don't mean this in any bad jest, but I wanted India to win this match, of course, but to win it while recognizing the elements that they've erred in with their team selection. I think that will happen. Prasidh Krishna, in my view, Arshdeep Singh should play ahead of him in the next match. Kuldeep Yadav should play ahead of one of Nitish Kumar Reddy or Washington Sundar, depending on who you're going to give more bowling to. And Siraj had a big workload in two of these matches, so I'd bring Bumrah back in place of him. These are the changes that India should make. Now, how should either side look to win the match? From England point of view, if we're looking at, first of all, their batting performance, it's 84 for 5, where the moment Juru was dismissed, I expected a partnership after that point, but I thought he was a key dismissal there. Ben Stokes, I'll say this again, he will play two defining innings this series. I don't know which innings they'll be, so whenever he has been dismissed early, I've not been surprised. And how should both sides win? For India, they lead by 244. Now, let's say at a minimum they bat for another 75 overs. With the rate that they score at, they'll get to 240, meaning that's a 484 run lead. If they get to at a minimum of 500 and give England, let's say, 100 overs to bat, England will go for that total because they cannot survive defending, especially when the ball starts to turn in the last 2 days. Which is why I think that's a minimum that India should aim for. For England, what they should do is, and this margin may seem a fairly big one because of how things are, but they should make sure that India are bowled out before accumulating 200 more runs. In that case, 444 of 120, keeping in mind the defensive tactics India can employ. Even when the ball's turning, Jadeja defensive bowler, Washington defensive bowler, Prasidh Krishna doesn't bowl the right lengths. In that way, England have got a chance. And I think India will score well more than 200 runs tomorrow, and I think they will win this match, and it's looking like a 1-1 poised series going to the third match. Let's see how it goes. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, share, friend, and in my opinion, watch yours.